So once our CAD model has loaded into the scene, we're going to edit it using the Jig toolbar. You can see we can edit the color in the color slider. We also have a number of different materials to choose from. In this case, I've selected a copper and I'm giving it a generic silver color. Now, in order for me to select these external pieces, I'm going to press and hold Shift in order to multi-select. I just need to click on a model again to remove it from my selection. But in this case, once we've got these outer components selected, I'm going to edit their color and materials and make them a white plastic. Next, in order for me to edit the internal components, I'm going to add another step to our jig. I'm also going to select these external pieces and pull them aside and make them transparent too. This will allow me to edit and see these internal pieces. So I'm going to edit their colors and add a bit of diversity to the 3D models. This will give a better idea for people viewing the models, the different components that this jet engine is made up of. I'm also going to make these internal turbines a more shiny chrome color. And our internals are completed. Next, I want to copy the colors and materials from step 2 to step 1. But first I'm going to select these external pieces. To do this, I'm using the Lasso Add tool. This will just make sure that both of those models are added to my selection. I'm then going to turn off their transparency to make them visible. And now when I swap into object mode, when I press and hold on the color tool, I open up our replicate menu. Any of the attributes I select in this tool can be copied across from step 2 to step 1. In this case, I just want to copy the color and material. I'm going to copy that to our previous steps. And you can see that's been applied to the previous step. So now when I go to step 1, you can see that these materials have been added to the internal and external pieces. So I'm able to remove step 2 and use step 1 as a base step. Now to start off with, we have this 3D model of the jet engine. So with this object in our scene, I'm going to go to the object list. And once I open this up, you can see that we have our jet engine workshop model. So if I select this model in the list, you can see that it's been selected inside of that Jig Workshop 3D scene. Now I'm also able to use this drop down in order to reveal the individual meshes or sub-objects that make up this 3D model. And as you can see, I'm able to select the individual models inside of this jet engine in order to edit them. And you can see I'm also able to select this outer casing, and by turning on the hide tool, I'm able to turn off its visibility, and I'm actually able to select through this hidden model in order to select and edit these internal components. Next, I'm going to select a couple of these internal pieces and apply colors and materials. And once this is complete, in order for me to restore that external casing, I just need to go back to the object list and turn off the hide tool. That should restore this outer casing and allow me to now select and view this inside of the Jig Workshop. Now if I wanted to select these objects and give them labels, you can see that this label field is currently empty. But another feature that we have available by swapping into object mode is the ability to use the names from files. So I'm able to take the names found in our object list that are a part of these 3D model files and apply them to the 3D objects in our scene as labels. Now the Add Content menu has a number of different options to choose from. You can choose to import your own CAD files into your jig. You can select a 3D model from our model library or from your Team Objects library. You can also load an image or video into your jig, and you're able to bring in a 2D text object into your 3D space. And finally, we have the ability to save your currently selected 3D object into your Team Object library. So once we've applied our colours and materials to this 3D model, I can select our object and go to the Add Content menu and save our object to the 3D model library. I'm also able to move around this screen in order to get a clean thumbnail image, and I can edit the name of this 3D model. So I'm going to press save, and I'm going to save this model to our Team Model library. And once this model has been saved, if I go to the Add Content menu and look inside the model library, you can see that inside Team Objects, our 3D model has been applied to our 3D model library. And if I click on this model, I'm able to add it to my jig, and it also contains a number of the different details relating to this 3D model.